Like,
So Kamala Harris, after her, airplane hangar rally, which was just fucking incredible, she held another rally later in the day where she was heckled by a protester, but sadly for that protester, that likely resulted in an outcome that they weren't fond of.
He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
That's that mom look, yo. All right, say whatever you want to about Kamala Harris not having biological children. That's some black mom energy for your ass right there.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, just like I wish like Biden had been able to handle protesters in such a manner, just like being stern and straightforward. And hey, look, like we ain't playing no games around here. Y'all go do your homework, eat your dinner, and take y'all asses to bed. But so
what was the protester saying? Was that discernible?
I don't know. It was one of them.
Okay,
one of them pro-Hamas kids, probably. I don't know. Just trying to cause a ruckus.
Got it.
Yeah, you know how they like try. They never protest Republicans. Have you noticed that? Even though Republicans are far more hardcore on like Israel annexing Gaza, and anyway, one of those knuckleheads. She just took them out, but. In terms of what the Trump campaign is doing, I don't know if you've seen any clips of Trump's rallies here lately, but it's almost as though like we saw that video where the bullet clearly did not hit Trump. I don't know how his ear was bleeding, but it wasn't from a bullet. Well, it's almost as though the bullet actually did hit him and he's dead. And now he's living in purgatory because his rallies are just like, they're graveyards. Like he gets up there, he rambles for an hour about some incoherent bullshit. There's like no energy, no crowd, no juice. He was just, he was trying to trash Kamala, or I can't remember what he was saying. Saying like Kamala loves the mobs. They were, destroying the country in 2020, and she just wanted to and then like no one's in the back. Like there's no excitement or woo or applause and anything. It's just like it
makes him sound like an evil Muppet. He's an evil Muppet now.
I mean, he does kind of sound like an evil Muppet. But yeah, his campaign rallies are dead, and like I've never seen as much excitement at a campaign rally possibly since 2008. Like what we're seeing at these Harris rallies. But what that does bring me to is, well, clearly the Trump campaign had a plan set in stone, right? They were going to ride this Joe Biden, his old Hunter Biden laptop / criminal conviction thing into the ground. And now that that's no longer an option, they've yet to pivot. Not only do they not have anything, whatever measly attacks they're trying to sling towards Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, now they're either not sticking or they're backfiring. And I think at this point, what we're seeing is campaigning is basically over. It is what the campaigns are, what they are now. Yes, they're going to continue to campaign until the election, but really what we're seeing is, I think, like just the beginning of how this is just going to continue to be like a maybe not a landslide election, but they're like the Harris campaign is just going to keep piling on. And part of the reason why I think when Trump loses in November, we're going to look back at this and like if there's anyone to blame for Trump's loss at this point, it's actually going to be the media. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So one of the things I cannot stand the media for, it's just this incessant need to kind of normalize all of Trump's insane behavior, from, the pandemic response to like his first impeachment, where he was trying to get Ukraine to open a sham investigation into Biden. Like there's a running theme here, trying to abuse his position to slander the Biden family. The January 6th thing. Like Trump was convicted on 34 felonies. His business was convicted on multiple crimes. He's lost numerous civil suits to the tune of $500 million. You know, found liable for sexual assault, practically rape the way it was described, except, you know, the only detail that changed it from rape to sexual assault was that, you know, Eugene didn't know if it was his finger or his dick because it was that small. Right. And like the media is just like brushed on by all of this crazy shit. And they've just so they've gone through this effort of normalizing these insane, I don't even know what tier of scandal it could possibly be, but like, this is like God tier level scandals.
We've had all outrage exhaustion too. And we're like, some of us are forgetting what the outrage is, but they're not reminding us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
here's where that's going to bite Trump in the ass, right? Because people have become
He's going to talk now. They can't keep him silent now. He's campaigning for president.
No. It's not even that. It's because the media has made sure that so much of the public is desensitized to this insane shit. Mm-hmm. Like, the only way you're going to get a scandal to stick to the Harris campaign, if it's even beyond that, right? So whatever their plan was to smear the Biden campaign, since they no longer have that to rely on, they're not going to be able to come up with anything that sticks to Harris, because nothing is going to match the levels of shit that people have already become numb to.
Yeah, they're like, Doug cheated on his first wife. Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They happy family now. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yep, they don't have anything, and then whatever they do come up with, it'll be so minute and unimportant that nothing's going to stick. And then that's on top of the fact that, like, once the JD Vance rollout happened, they got hit with the weird label, and they're not going to shake that either. And I think in terms of like how the campaigns will go, it's already set in stone at this point. I mean, obviously, I guess, you know, there could be something that changes. But again, we just got, you know, hit with the news of Trump taking that bribe from Egypt, and that barely making a ripple in the news headlines. But we'll get to that later. So, like, if it's not anything like that, it's over in terms of like the Trump campaign having some kind of comeback. Yeah. But they're gonna try, and I'm sure they'll try and find something that sticks. But I don't think if it's nothing that the mainstream media will pick up on and hammer the same way that they did with Biden's age, they don't have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Trump really thought he was going to ride the shooting to victory. They thought they had it in the bag.
Man, it's so crazy.
Like, that was a really stupid take from anyone who said that.
I mean, I understand
that would have won him the election. Not
that it was going to win him the election, but they were going to capture that wave and then ride that. But it's just
nobody cares.
No one is like, they always try to kill him.
3 weeks and no one cares.
But again, this is going back to the thing I was saying about the media. Like, dude just shot at Trump a few weeks ago. Where's that story at? Like, the Secret Service director fucking quit her job because they did such a terrible job, and like, no one cares. And the fact that the shooter was a Republican probably has a lot to do with that, because if it was a Democrat, I'm sure the media would be covering that nonstop as we speak. But because it was Republican, no one gives a shit. And again, this is what I'm saying, right? Like, if they can't even hold on to a potential assassination attempt of a former president who's running for office yet again, like, what's going to stick to the Harris campaign? Nothing. Not a thing.